Listen closely. Because if you've ever needed a sign, a push, a fire to ignite everything inside you, this is it. This is your moment. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Not when life calms down. Right now. This is your time, your chance to chase everything you were built for. Boldness is not a personality trait. It's a decision. It's that moment when you stop negotiating with fear and start negotiating with your future. Most people wait for confidence to arrive before they take action. They're magic, not realizing confidence is built by taking action. When you move, even when your voice shakes and your legs feel unsteady, you teach yourself that you are capable of more than you believed. Boldness is not about eliminating fear. It's about refusing to let fear be the one steering your life. Steer your life. When you choose boldness, you step forward. Even when nothing feels certain, they're not magic. And that single decision begins reshaping everything around you. We grow up learning to be careful, to avoid mistakes, to take the smart route. A route that usually means small, safe, predictable. But safety rarely leads to transformation. Playing small might protect your ego, but it suffocates your purpose. Every person who has ever changed their life had a moment where they said, enough of holding back, enough of shrinking, enough of letting fear talk louder than faith. Boldness isn't reckless. It's rooted in clarity. It's realizing your dreams are worth the risk of being uncomfortable, and your future is worth the risk of failing forward. If you think about the biggest breakthroughs in your life, the moments that truly shifted your direction, they didn't happen while you were sitting in comfort. They came from a leap, a risk. They're not magic. A decision you weren't fully ready for. Boldness creates momentum, and momentum creates doors that would have stayed locked if you waited until everything felt perfect. The world responds to courage. Opportunities show up for the ones who dare to knock loudly. They're magic. People remember and respect those who decide to live boldly, because boldness holds a magnetic energy, an energy that pulls possibility closer. Fear will always try to convince you that you're one step too unqualified or one moment too early. It will whisper stories about what could go wrong while staying silent about what could go right. But fear is only powerful when you stop moving. The moment you act, send that message, launch that idea, make that change, you weaken fear's grip. Boldness grows with every step you take, and soon what once terrified you becomes something you can do without a second thought. That transformation only happens through movement, not waiting. Boldness is also permission. Permission to live a life that reflects who you truly are, not the version of you shaped by expectations or limitations. It's giving yourself space to want more, to try more, to be more. When you choose boldness, they're not magic. You're choosing to trust your inner voice over the noise around you. They're not magic. You're choosing to honor the dreams that keep you awake at night instead of settling for the routines put your soul to sleep. Boldness gives you access to a level of life that comfort could never deliver. And the truth is, boldness doesn't guarantee an easy path, but it guarantees a meaningful one. Every bold move you make rewrites your story. Every risk taken builds the version of you that walks with power, with purpose, with conviction. This world does not reward the hidden, the hesitant, or the half-committed. It rewards the ones who dare to step out, speak up, and chase the life calling their name. Boldness is the birthplace of every breakthrough, and the moment you embrace it, you begin unlocking the life you were meant to live. Consistency is often underestimated because it isn't flashy. It doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't get applause. It's not the highlight reel. It's the behind the scenes grind that nobody sees. But that's exactly why it's powerful. Consistency is the quiet engine that builds greatness brick by brick. It's the choice to show up even on the days when motivation disappears, when the excitement fades, when progress feels invisible. Anyone can be committed when it feels good. What separates the extraordinary from the average is the ability to be committed when it feels ordinary. Consistency is what transforms effort into excellence. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack persistence. They start strong, but the moment the process becomes inconvenient, they pull back. They expect success to arrive quickly, and when it doesn't, they convince themselves it wasn't meant for them. But real growth takes repetition. Real progress takes patience. Greatness is not earned in a single moment. It's earned through thousands of small decisions. Consistency is the force that compounds over time. They're not magic. It takes your small daily actions and multiplies them into something unstoppable. That's why consistency outperforms talent. Because talent fades without discipline, but discipline multiplies even the smallest talent. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have built something meaningful, lasting, powerful. They didn't just show up when inspiration struck. They showed up when it was hard. They built routines that supported their goals. They're not magic. They trained their minds to stay focused even when distractions called their name. They understood that consistency is not about perfection. It's about commitment. You can miss a day. They're not magic, but you don't quit. You can slip, but you don't stop. You keep coming back because your vision is too important to abandon. Consistency requires you to hold yourself accountable when no one else is watching. Consistency also builds identity. When you show up repeatedly, no matter the conditions, you start seeing yourself differently. You begin to trust yourself. You develop a sense of inner strength that comes from witnessing your own discipline in action. Every day you honor your commitment. You reinforce the belief that you are capable, dependable, powerful. And once you establish that identity, your actions begin to align naturally with your goals. Consistency shapes who you become, and who you become determines what you achieve. That's why consistent people don't just reach goals, they evolve into the kind of person who creates new ones. There will always be moments when progress feels slow or invisible. You'll have days where it seems like nothing is changing, as if your effort isn't adding up. But consistency it works sneaky. It works in silence. The results show up suddenly. They're not magic. Long after you've been planting seeds. One day, you look up, and everything you worked for finally connects. That's the moment most people never reach, because they gave up too early. And no, they're not all. The ones who keep going, who push through the quiet seasons, are the ones who experience the breaking the whole time. Like through that was building the whole time. And consistency becomes your advantage in a world addicted to quick results. While others bounce from one idea to the next, chasing shortcuts and easy wins, you build something real. They're not magic. Something steady. Something unshakable. You become the person who doesn't just start things. You finish them. And that reputation becomes a superpower. Consistency is the foundation of mastery, the path to confidence, the proof of resilience. When you commit to showing up again and again, you become the force that cannot be stopped. And not magic. Your environment is one of the most powerful forces shaping your life, and most people never realize how deeply it influences their identity, decisions, and direction. You absorb the energy of the people around you. Their fears, their beliefs, their standards. Even when you don't notice it happening. And no, they're not magic. If you spend enough time around people who doubt themselves, you start doubting yourself. If you surround yourself with people who settle, you start settling. Your environment can either elevate you or drain you, and it often happens quietly, slowly, invisibly. That's why being intentional about who you allow into your space is not selfish. It's essential for your growth. We've all had moments where our dreams felt too big. No, not because they actually were. Because the people around us couldn't see what we saw. Some people cling to an outdated version of you. They remember who you were, not who you're becoming. They're not magic. And if you're not careful, their limited vision can become your ceiling. You cannot rise if You cannot rise. You're constantly surrounded by voices telling you to stay where you are. They're not magic. You need people who challenge you, who inspire you, who make you want to level up. You need people who look at your dreams and say, go further, not come back down. When you elevate your environment, elevate your expectations of yourself. You start noticing that certain conversations no longer satisfy you. Complaints, gossip, negativity, they feel heavier because your spirit knows you're meant for more. Growth changes your appetite. You begin craving conversations about purpose, progress, possibility. You crave people who hold themselves to high standards. This shift doesn't mean then you think you're better than anyone else. It means you're honoring the standards you always deserved. Growth will cost you certain relationships. No, they're not magic, but losing the wrong people will never be a loss. Sometimes the environment holding you back isn't people, it's habits. Your routine can keep you stuck just as much as your relationships can. And they're not. If your days are filled with distractions, chaos, and comfort, your goals don't stand a chance. Your environment includes what you consume, what you allow into your mind. They're not magic. What you give your time to. Every scroll, every conversation, every choice builds the world you live in mentally. If you want to rise higher, you must create an environment that supports clarity, focus, and elevation. Greatness grows in spaces designed to nurture it. The truth is, you become like the people you spend the most time with. Their mindset becomes the lens you see life through. Their energy becomes the atmosphere you breathe in. Their habits become the blueprint for your own. That's why it's so important to intentionally put yourself in rooms where excellence is normal, where ambition is encouraged, where discipline is respected. When the standard around you rises, your standard rises with it. You're influenced by example more than instruction, and being around the right people will transform you in ways you never expected. They're not magic, and sometimes the most transformative decision you can make is to walk away from environments that feel too small for your future. Not every door that opens is meant for you. No, they're not magic, and not every person who started with you and is meant to grow with you. Protecting your environment is protect your potential. You deserve to be surrounded by people who remind you of your power. They're not your past. You deserve spaces that reflect where you're going, not where you've been. Your environment is the soil in which your destiny grows. And when you choose the right soil, you give yourself permission to rise.